So hello, we're back again today to the 16th day of Vlogmas. So now Christmas is only 9 days away because we're on 16. Today is also my little sister's birthday. So if you're watching, happy birthday. If you're not, why are you not? Just kidding. But my other two sets of numbers came in. So if this is your first time watching, I'm talking about how I label my advents. So because a lot of dyers will number them and send out a sheet with all the names on them, because this is a lot to have to set and put little bitty tags on that says this is the name of this. So it's a lot, I understand. So to keep them in order and to know what the name is, things like that, I buy these little tags. These are not the ones I buy every year. This is the ones I bought this year. And I don't, like, my plan is to actually be able to reuse them each year. But these are the ones I'm using for my fade from Giddy Yarn. And so it's actually in a Giddy Yarn box. So this is what she sent her Halloween treat box in from last year. This year I did not get her Halloween treat box. Why? Because I have been a little bit absent this year in my mind from holidays. So I didn't get her Halloween one. I didn't do a lot of stuff that I normally do. But oh well, it happens. But this is what our fade looks like. So these are the most recent days. Just gonna pick them up. So we started at this beautiful yellow. We went down, we came over here to this purple. And then let me look at my days so I get them right in the box. My tags that are on them. So then we have purple, and now we're into the blues. So I can't wait to see what color we have today. Like I said, I will stick one of the tags on there. Matter of fact, that's what I said over here. It's my day 16 tag for Giddy Yarns. I have the tags for my other two advents here. They were a little more expensive than my plastic ones, and they only go 1 through 30. The plastic ones that I got last year were about $10 on Amazon, and they went 1 through 50. And so I used them for 2 advents because I just went 1 through 25 on one tagging, and I don't think I used the 25. I think it's in my holder over here. And then I went 25 through 48 on the other advent. And so both of them are still labeled. One of them I'm actually using to make I think a snowdrift shawl by Curious Handmaids. And the other one came with a pattern to use it for, and I haven't done it yet. So yesterday we did go to see Wonka. Oh my goodness, it is a musical. Just to warn you, they do sing a lot. It was lovely. It's a lovely backstory. It does not match the newer Wonka, the Johnny Depp Wonka. It does not match the backstory that was given in that one. It is made to go with the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory with Gene Wilder in it. So just in case you were wondering, I thought I would do that. Tomorrow, I am going to try to yank out tonight yarn from all the vendors that I have in here that are going to be at the Eureka Fiber Festival. And I'll show you their yarn, at least one example of their yarn, tell you their names, and then you can go to their websites and look. I unfortunately will not be there this year because I have a commitment already in Tennessee to a spinning retreat that I go to with a group of friends. So it just didn't work out this year for me to be able to go to both. And my pocketbook is probably going to be a lot happier for that. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. I normally, as you can see, I may have a slight shopping addiction. Collecting yarn is just as big as a hobby as knitting, and I just learned this year to crochet. So over here, I'm going to show you my horrible stack of messiness. this is everything I have to crochet with. And so it's like velvet yarn, some solid color acrylics. I have some blanket yarn over here. See? And I just bought this and it's already almost gone. So I have some black blanket yarn because the only thing I really crochet is plushies. I am working to learn how to do a granny square, but the majority of my stuff is plushies. My daughter takes them, or I would show them to you, but as soon as I get done, it's gone. It's gone to her room. She has a collection. I have no idea. But before we went to see Wonka, we went by Barnes & Noble. Look at this gorgeous bag. This is the bag I got at Barnes & Noble. It even says Barnes & Noble booksellers right here. So I was gonna get the holiday bag. They have so I don't have them hanging on the outside, but inside I have multiple bags from Barnes & Noble's from their holiday. They're normally very cute with snowflakes, and they're like a durable like canvas bag like this one with snowflakes or some type of winter theme on them. But this year when I went, it is like a furry bag. So they have multiple different types. So they have a red and a blue that's like a I say furry, but plushy, but not like with that yarn. It's like a fake wool. It's a red and black plaid and a blue and black plaid. Then they also have velvet bags. I think I saw green. I saw like a bluey teal color, a mauve color, a little bit darker red color. And I always normally get one of those, and I was going to get one of those, and I was like, it's $16.99. If I'm not going to use that bag around the time, because the furry is going to get dog hair all over it, because I have 3 dogs. I say I, but we as a family have 3 dogs. We each have a dog. They are not assigned. We all care for each other's dog. We all love each other's dog. They are technically all of our dogs, and we are all of their humans. And it's going to get dog hair on it. I'm not going to want to take it out in public. And I was like, and I'm paying $16.99 for it. I had seen another bag with like books and stuff on the front. And I was like, oh, that is so cute. And I like that. And then I saw this one, and I was like, this one was $22.99. So 16 and 22. So for $6 difference, I can get a bag that I will use every winter and take out into public. Or I can, and with the $16.99 one, you had to buy something, where with this one, I could have just bought it for $22.99. But I did get the cutest thing. Look at it. It's crochet dragons. It comes with everything to do this dragon. It's only $15. They also have one that's food. I saw food, I saw dragons, I saw Christmas, which I missed it. I checked out before. But here's the back of the box, and I'm just going to open it, and I will show it to y'all. It would have helped if I would have brought some scissors or something over here, but I did not. I'm looking to see. Normally I have something that could cut this or bend this within arm's length, but no. There we go. I have peeled off their sticky dot. Let me get their other sticky dot off. Boop. And we will open it. It comes with 2 crochet hooks and a book, and then up under that it looks like this. You have green yarn, white yarn, some yellow yarn, eyes, and fluff. It is so cute. I bought it because if I would have went online to buy all of these patterns, it would have cost more than the $15 for this book. So let's just look through. And so it goes through and explains what difficulty levels are, what examples of the instructions. None of this is a pattern. Basic techniques if you need to refer back. Looks like they did a very good job of explaining different stitches, lots of pictures to help show you how to assemble, how to close a hole, and then you go into the patterns, and even in the patterns there are pictures that walk you through how to do things. So that is lovely. I won't start on anything from that until after Christmas, but I thought it was a good price at $15, just because I've looked at a pattern very much like this one on Etsy, and I was gonna buy it and I haven't bought it yet, and I know there is a difference supporting an individual seller. Please know that all of this is from indie dyers. Nothing in this cabinet is from mass manufactured, but I also know that that I do buy patterns from there. I don't buy, I'm not gonna say I don't buy tons of patterns from there, because I do. Probably about half the patterns. I get free patterns off Instagram, I get free patterns off Ravelry, get free patterns from Rippler, and then I also do buy patterns from Etsy. And I think there's more. I used to buy yarn from some place called Big Cartel that was also indie dyers. So I did get another book. I got the Pokemon crochet because, and it gives not quite as in detailed as the little book, which I find odd because this one is 20. I hear that there is like 2 versions of this. This is the one my Barnes and Noble had. I did look through all of the magazines. I actually straightened up the magazines when I was there because they were messy. So I was looking at crochet and knitting magazines, so I just straightened them up. I got a mystery. I really like mysteries. While I haven't even started the autobiography of Santa Claus, because I haven't taken, normally I start reading in the bath, and I know that's weird, but I do. But I like mysteries. My mom liked mysteries. So I decided when I saw this one, it's first in a new series, Murder in Her Stocking, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna read it. And I do like physical books better than digital books. I don't know why, I just do, always have. I like the feel of the book in my hand. I have 2 Kindles, an iPad. I think I'm on my 4th iPad, because I got one, I think me and my husband had been married for 6 years, 5 or 6 years, and he got me for, I think he got me one for 5, no, we had our daughter at 5 years, I got a new engagement ring at 7 years, so yeah, I got an iPad at 6 years, and then basically after that, like every 5 or 10 years, like when that iPad stops working, he gets me another one for our anniversary. We got some truffles. I love Ghirardelli. We use our Godiva and Ghirardelli, but Godiva there used to be a store in the mall in Bartlett, Tennessee. I do not know if it's still there because we have moved, even if they haven't. And whenever we went on a date, when we were younger, when we first met and started dating, we would go there and I would get a piece of candy because it was expensive. It's still quite expensive. And then once we got married, it was more like I would get that for Valentine's Day, or I would get their Christmas teddy bear with the little 4-box of chocolate on there. But then we moved away from all Godiva stores. Even the one in Tulsa closed because we used to go to that one. And then it had closed, so we obviously can't go to a place if it's closed. So we bought that instead. These are, so I went ahead and put the metal rings, the rings that came with the numbers, on all of them, and then I put one of those light bulbs. These are all the ones that are left from my Giddy Yarn Advent. And so let's open Advents, and then I'll let you be on your way because I've been jabbering for 15 minutes. I did change the way I'm sitting because I decided to be in a corner because I'm like, if I keep leaning on this, I'm going to break my door. This is just a little cabinet from IKEA. It's not super, it's actually pretty nice, but it's not built to hold me up as I lean on it. So let's start with Green Lambkin. I have the yarn. So the sparkle yarn I do have that's bare is a DK. So I'm trying to decide if I feel like that will work or not. Oh, we got some Clipper Natural Fair Delicious Medium Roast Organic Coffee. Yummy, yummy. I'll take that to work with me. And then we got Dead Morzo, and I cannot pronounce that word, but it says Russia. Is a character, so let's show the yarn, it's very pretty, is a character who is said to live deep in the woods and is responsible for wintry weather. He is said to travel in his troika with his granddaughter, Shankuka, or Snow Maiden, bringing gifts from the forest for the children. So if you want to pause and read that, you can. If you want to, Little Drops of Wonderful has the same advent calendar. She also holds them up for everybody to read. So my Green Lambkin is going right here in this bag, and I'm going to take these 2 bags downstairs and put my markers on them tonight. So I'm just going to drop this in here too. And then this is our Ruby and Rose. Oh, that's a lovely pale pinky color. Makes me happy. And so I did not have any sock weight, fingering weight, whatever you want to call it, in Sparkle. I had DK. So I went ahead and I've dyed 2 skeins of DK, like a dark gray to black color. And then I remembered, I think somewhere in one of these bags, I have a commercial, so it's not over here, it's going to be over there, a commercially dyed sock yarn in like a gradient that goes from black to dark gray to light gray. It's like, oh, but hopefully my semi-colored comes out well. I use landscape dye when I dye, so landscape dye already has citric acid in it. So the containers look like they're huge. They look like they come in the large ounces, but you don't normally get like dark colors. So I took, can't remember, I think it's Granite was their dark gray, and I put in Kookaburra, something like that. That's their black color, because they don't just say black, they don't just say gray, it's all animals' names. But the citric acid is already mixed into it, so I don't have to add extra. It's something I don't have to keep up with. I do have some citric acid because I have some jacquard dyes. I bought a lot of my dyes are really old. I bought them when a yarn store was going out of business, and I have just kept them. So this is our blue for our Giddy yarn today. That's a bright blue. It's Mustard Seed Fairy. So I'm just gonna pop this on here. And then that way, all I have to do is put it in this box. And then when I am ready, if you want to see how it goes with the other colors, it fits perfectly. At first I was like, oh, that's sort of bright. But then when I laid it in the box, it's like perfect. So I'm just gonna close that up. And I try to reuse and recycle everything that I possibly can, even these little bags. Like, I will keep the Ruby and Rose ones, and I will probably see if my little sister, who also knits, wants to do some sort of like scrappy advent swap with me next year. And so I'll put hers in those bags and mail them to her. She lives up in Pennsylvania. She is a knitter, but she's also a quilter. She did not make this. There is a church in a neighboring town that has a craft fair every year. I missed it this year because, well, missed a lot of stuff this year. So we missed it this year, but normally I go. And what they do is it is a historical church, and I'll have to look up the name of it, and I will for the next one and tell you it. But it's a group of ladies who quilt. They sell their quilts. They will commission quilts, but they meet there to do them. They also teach classes. They meet there on Tuesdays during the day. So if you have a job, unless you're off every Tuesday, you can't go. Sort of like also there's multiple churches who have like prayer shawl knitting, but they do them during the day. So if you are somebody who works and cannot take a 3-hour lunch, then you're not knitting with them. I've yet to find a group here that knits at night. When Mockingbird Moon was open, you could just go there and sit and knit, but it's not the same as like going, because like if I'm going to a yarn shop, I'm buying something. Just gonna let you know. It may not be anything big, but I'm buying something. And so but going to a yarn shop to just sit and knit is not always the best plans for me, because then I'm gonna come out with a skein of yarn, and normally yarn at a yarn shop, they're normally indie dyers or higher end yarn. At least Mockingbird Moon tended to have like the higher end stuff when they were open. And so I was paying, you know, like $25 to $30 for a skein of yarn, and I can never just buy one. And I know that sounds horrible, but I cannot. But I was just looking, and I'm gonna reach over here and get it because I forgot. So Fangirl Fibers, who is also going to be at the Eureka Fiber Festival, which also makes me sad because I've never seen her in public. I've never been to a festival that she's at. So every year around this time, she has a like one-off Miss Di. Sorry about the rattling. I heard people on YouTube do not like all the crinkle. So every year she has, well, I say every year, but I've only bought from her the past 2 years. So she has like a one-off. She was working to develop a colorway and it didn't come out the way she wanted. So I'm just going to turn you for a second. These are the 12 I bought last year. So I always only buy fingering weight yarn. She also has DK, but it's $12 a skein. Everything I've ever bought from her is lovely. So I'm like, hey, I'll buy your one-offs. And so they all are labeled one of a kind. So if you see one of these on eBay or Ravelry or in some sort of a D-stash somewhere, now you know. But they're $12. Look at this. This is gorgeous. I love that orange. I think this orange will go with this or even this. But so it's either a colorway that didn't come out the way she planned it to. But she sells them for $12 a skein. Oh my god. Look at that one. So these are the colors I got this year. So they could also be, it looks like I got a couple of one-offs. Spring Court and Nile Nelly, where it was the onesies she had left in the shop. She does this normally. I'm trying to think if I bought these. I think I may have bought these in November, like like right around Thanksgiving, so like Black Friday. So it was supposed to be the shop small Saturday, and she changed her update to December the 7th. I don't know why. And so she had these in DK and in fingering. I always buy fingering weight yarn. I explained that in another video, that if you buy fingering weight yarn, you always have enough yarn to do at least a pair of socks. I make short socks, so I'm going to tell you I have enough yarn to do 2 pairs. But so I bought 12. She did not sell out. She just she took it down. So I bought 12 last year. I bought 12 this year. $12 is gain for hand-dyed yarn. She's basically just recouping her cost for the base, at least at the prices I buy base yarn for. She dyes on a larger scale than me, so she probably gets a lower cost, because when I buy 1 pack of 10. When she buys, she probably buys 10 packs of 10. So normally how yarn suppliers work is it's a tiered, like the more you buy, the lower the cost. So, but it's great. It's a great opportunity if you don't have tons of money to buy hand-dyed yarn. So I would put it on my calendar for next year. And if you're not, she has a newsletter. I am not sponsored. Nothing. She doesn't even know I exist. Most people don't know I exist. I have 5 subscribers. I have made like 10 videos. So, but yeah, so this is a great opportunity. I will also tell you that, so some of the other dyers that I have bought some from, like, Corner of Craft, she's Chromatic Yarns. She makes gorgeous bead weave stitch markers. I actually bought some of her stitch markers, and then I was like, you know what, I can do this. Please know I would never ever do that on a basis where I sold them, just because it takes so long to make them. But sometimes at the first of the year, her and Giddy Yarns will have like a sale of the stuff they have ready dyed. They'll have like one day where you get, I don't know, 10-20% off, and something off makes up for the shipping from Europe, because both Chromatic Yarns and Giddy Yarns are in Europe. I am sure probably some local indie dyers do it too, but I haven't heard of it. I've only heard of Fangirl Fibers doing the one-of-a-kind where she was testing. And I mean, seriously, if you're not going to make the colorway and you're like, no, it's a great way to recoup the cost of your yarns. Like, if it was up to me, she wouldn't even have to put her tag on it. And it looks like some of her tags have changed, because there's this one, and then it goes to this one. And I do have some Fangirl Fibers in here. I think it's all right here in this section. I tend to group my yarn by dyer, because like right here is Fangirl Fibers, up top is the Greenlambkin and my Muse 2320. I don't have very much of that. I bought her Hocus Pocus set from last year. I don't think I've bought anything else. And I heard about her on Alt Knots. It's beautiful yarn, but just to be honest, I can't justify continuing to buy yarn until I use some of this up. And I don't want to use it up on just anything. I want it all to be beautiful and perfect and be something special. And I know everybody's like, oh, you only live once. Don't save that yarn. Don't, you know, knit that expensive yarn. But I don't want to knit it into something that's not going to be loved. I don't know how to say it any other way. Like, this is commercial yarn. This is line brand. This is well used. I don't know if it's well loved. My end has come unwoven, but I just made this up. I just cast on some stitches and started knitting, and if it gets messed up, or if it gets snagged, or if it's not a horrible loss. But if I knit, you know, like something amazing, and then my dog jumps up and messes it up, or it gets caught on something, or I lose it, I would be sad. And I know that sounds stupid. Sorry. But I want it all to be something magnificent. It all deserves to be something magnificent because all the people who dyed this yarn dyed it with love. They made it specifically, you know, like, hey, this yarn is amazing, and it's all been touched and hand dyed and hand developed. I'm gonna stop crinkling that yarn. So I don't know, I feel like love went into every skein, and creativity and time and a vision. So it deserves that same from me when I make something out of it. It deserves me to not just make every pair a pair of socks. Could they be a pair of socks? Yes, they could. But this yarn, this bright yellow, was bought to be the solid color in Scooby-Doo mitts. And the yarn right next to it was bought with it to be the background where it's just the shape of the people. Not sure if you've seen that one. I've bought that pattern. It's on Ravelry. I'll find the name. I didn't bring my iPad up tonight to show things. And the majority of this yarn was bought at festivals. Festivals are local yarn shops. Every time we go, so part of the odd adventures in crafting is we go, except for this coming year, sorry, we go to a football game with friends. We normally go to one or two. My husband and her husband are Washington Commander fans, so we are collecting stadiums. So we have been to the Washington Stadium to watch the Washington Commanders play the Saints. We've been to Indianapolis to watch them play the Colts. We went this year to Atlanta and Colorado. I'm trying to think where else we went last year. Indianapolis and Houston. We went to Houston. We had already seen them play in Tennessee, but it was a preseason game. But every time we go to a yarn shop. I have footage of all those yarn shops. Every time we go on vacation, we go to a yarn shop. This year our vacations will be a little different because our daughter is graduating and high school, and so we said senior trip, we will go to England. We were going to try to go to Scotland and England until last night when we were Barnes & Noble. We bought those things. We also bought a book on England, and we looked through some before we picked which ones to buy. So we looked at Scotland also, and there's so much to do in Scotland and so much to do in England, and this trip is more about her than it is about me. I wanted to go to Scotland. She wants to go to England, so I told my husband last night, my daughter does not know that we're not going to go to Scotland. We'll just go to England, and we'll make a list, and we will schedule things. We had to buy our tickets in the next few weeks. We filed for our passports. There's so many things to do, and then trust me, we are looking at YouTube trying to figure out what to do and how to do it, and looking online, because right now we're not using a travel agent, but I'm wondering if we should, just to be honest. Okay, so this is super long, 33 minutes. I apologize for that, because at 20 I said I was going to wrap it up. But I don't have a lot of people to talk to about yarn and knitting and my craziness. So thank you all for watching. Today was a great day. Tomorrow is a good day to be even better or greater, or not really sure. I just say some variation of about the same, because we should try to look on the positive side of the world, because there's a lot of negative. So thank you. If you liked it, please like, subscribe, and comment. I don't know about asking for comments because that's just a little crazy. But have a great night. Have a great weekend. I hope your Friday was amazing. I hope your Saturday is amazing. If you work, I hope whatever day is your Friday is amazing. And I will see you again tomorrow, and I will have gathered up yarn from all the people, at least one skein from all the people that I have yarn from that are going to be at Eureka Fiber Festival, and I'll show it to you, and I'll try to link below. But I don't edit these. I just film them and put them up. I do edit for work. Like, I use Premiere Pro, but I have not bought that program, so I don't have access to it at home for personal use. I only have it for work use. So, have a great night. Hope tomorrow's even better than today.